For your consideration, Dark Sunset Manor, where old school personnel and others go to die and visitors come to watch it happen. And something very, very strange has just happened at Dark Sunset Manor. You see before you the memory care section of Dark Sunset Manor, also known as the Insane Asylum. And in room 8150, one of Dark Sunset Manor's most prominent residents has died. Going once, going twice, dead. You are witnessing a young woman standing near the bed of the recently deceased Joe Gavel, a former auctioneer in this county. Joe died at age 94 years old. This woman seems so engulfed in grief. Notice I say seems so engulfed in grief. Let me introduce myself. I am Rob McCool, proprietor of Dark Sunset Manor, which I inherited from my grandfather, Maximilian Finn McCool. I am all-seeing. I am everywhere and nowhere, and none of the residents knows anything about me. And this woman is so engulfed in grief over the loss of Joe Gavel. This woman is Joe Gavel's wife, and she's only 27. Meanwhile, outside the office of the executive director of Dark Sunset Manor, approximately 1 hour before it's discovered that Joe Gavel has died, we are going to meet Irving Pennywise, who is about to do something very, very strange. Yes, Irving Pennywise loves to dress up as a clown while also performing feats of legerdemain. And just down the hall from Mr. Irving Pennywise is the health center run by Nellie Vauban, who was fired from her job as a school nurse. She was accused of distributing tranquilizer darts to teachers. And at Dark Sunset Manor, Nurse Nellie has equipped herself, as well as her staff, with taser guns. Meanwhile, back in the room of Joe Gavel, Joe's widow, Cindy Sue, has a visitor. Ma'am, I'm Officer Earp, Officer Wyatt Earp. I was called to your room to investigate what happened. His station had received an anonymous phone call from someone claiming to be a resident at Dark Sunset Manor, and this person claimed that Joe Gavel had been murdered. Meanwhile, in the lobby of Dark Sunset Manor, we are about to meet the front desk attendant, Andrew Hausman. He's received a call from one of the first floor residents. Hi, Andrew Hausman here. Remember our motto, a happy resident doesn't get on the nerves of the staff. What can I do for you? Oh, Ms. Schroeder? Oh, you've heard unusual noises coming from the basement? A kind of squeaking, scraping noise? Okay, yeah, that is strange. Yes, I'll check it out. I'm on my way to the cellar even as I'm talking to you. Have no fear, Andrew Hausman is here. And with flashlight in hand, Andrew Hausman heads to the end of the hallway to the cellar door and heads down the shadowy steps into the foreboding cellar of Dark Sunset Manor. And at first, Andrew Hausman sees nothing suspicious until, along one wall, he notices something he had never noticed before. A partially opened secret panel. Meanwhile, the body of Joe Gavel is being transported to the coroner to determine the cause of death. And after her husband's body is carted away, Cindy Sue heads away to a rundown house on the outskirts of town where she meets with a young man who is not exactly a stranger, and she gives this young man the details of her husband's recent death, about which he is very pleased. And back at the office of the executive director of Dark Sunset Manor, we have Irving Pennywise. He has transformed himself into a clown. That is, until there is a knock on the door. Mr. Pennywise, Mr. Irving Pennywise, this is Police Officer Wyatt Earp. I'm here to talk to you about the death of Joe Gavel. Yes, Mr. Pennywise, as I told you at the door, I am Officer Wyatt Earp, and I'm here to investigate the death of Joe Gavel. Well, Officer, Joe Gavel is not his real name. That's a nickname because he was an auctioneer. His real name is Joseph Pennywise. Pennywise? You mean you were related? Yes, officer. Joseph Pennywise was my father. Back in the cellar of Dark Sunset Manor, you may recall that receptionist Andrew Hausman was investigating a mysterious sound reported by one of the residents, and he had discovered what appeared to be a secret panel, and shining his flashlight through the opening in that secret panel, Andrew Hausman discovered what appeared to be a small room, and in that small room, he saw what looked like a coffin. And in her residence on the first floor, near the stairs, Hilda Schroeder is distraught. And Hilda is thinking, what could those noises, those sounds be that I heard emanating from the cellar Oh, what could they be? It then occurs to Hilda that maybe the cellar is filled with both rats and snakes. And Hilda thinks, oh, the snakes could devour the rats. Problem solved. And, as you know, Executive Director Irving Pennywise is being questioned by Police Officer Wyatt Earp. So, Mr. Pennywise, it is established that Joseph Pennywise was your father and that his wife, Cindy Sue, had walked into the room right before he died. And what you probably don't know is our station received a call from one of the residents at Dark Sunset Manor stating that your father had been murdered. Murdered? Who called you? It was an anonymous call. We don't know who it was that made that phone call. Officer, my father was 94 years old. He had a weak heart. He was in the insane asylum, memory care section of Dark Sunset Manor. It was only a matter of time before he passed away anyway. Well, sir, it looks like he may have had some help in dying. And meanwhile, in the cellar of Dark Sunset Manor, Andrew Houseman has discovered what looks like a coffin in a secret room in that cellar. And now Andrew has made the determination that he should see if there's anything inside that coffin. Rob McCool here, hoping that you are enjoying this presentation and will click on like, subscribe, and the bell to get notification of future videos. And now, more of The Dark Side of Rob McCool. And as Andrew Houseman gets closer and closer to the closed coffin, planning to open it, he's wondering what, if anything, will he find inside. And in her office, Nurse Nellie Vauban checks carefully the medical record pertaining to Joe Gavel, real name Joseph Pennywise, to make sure everything is recorded as needed. And while Dark Sunset Manor Director Irving Pennywise is being questioned by Officer Wyatt Earp, the phone rings. And as Irving Pennywise is soon to discover, this caller has some very interesting information about his father's death. Meanwhile, Hilda Schroeder waits and wonders about what is making that unusual noise in the cellar. And down, down, down beyond the cellar stairs, through a secret panel to a dark room, Andrew Houseman has discovered a closed coffin. And as he lifts the lid and looks inside, he sees